So, hello everyone, Michael here, and today we're going to be doing the MLS bracket challenge. So, okay, let's start off with the West Conference. First game, Minnesota versus LA Galaxy. I mean, Minnesota had a really good season, obviously. I mean, they've got a pretty good team overall, but Darwin Quintero, much more was expected of him. I feel that it's just going to be a clear one, LA Galaxy, because I really want, and I'm pretty sure that everybody wants to see this matchup in the conference semi-final on the Western Conference with LAFC versus LA Galaxy, which I'll touch on soon. But when it comes to Minnesota versus LA Galaxy, I think it's clear as day that LA Galaxy will win the match. Moving on to the next one, we have RSL versus Portland Timbers. So, Portland Timbers, a team that many people expect to be, again, the dark horse in the conference. So, just because of that, I feel that people are putting too much hope in Portland Timbers, and I feel that they are overlooking the Real Salt Lake. So I feel that for me, RSL are going to be the one to go through, and I did not actually know this, but RSL finished in third. I am purely shocked. I thought they got 6th or 7th, but third. That is pretty good, man. They beat the likes of LA Galaxy and Minnesota. That is impressive. So for me, RSL versus Portland, it's going to be RSL. I expect them to come up on top, even though many people say Portland are a very good team when it comes to playing away games. My prediction is going for Salt Lake with the win. So the next match we have Seattle versus FC Dallas. So Seattle, I actually had Seattle to be at the beginning of the season my kind of dark horse team. I predicted them to win the overall MLS Cup, but things haven't looked so good for them. So Seattle versus Dallas, this is a bit of a tough one, because Dallas, they can pull a shocker, don't get me wrong, but Seattle have a decent team. I also expected much more from Lodiero. I expected much more from Rui Diaz, but it's okay. He got a decent amount of goals. I'm not sure if he hit double digits, but it's about, I think it's more than 9 goals he's got, or maybe 9. I'm not sure, but I'll go with Seattle. I think that end of the day, they are the better team compared with Dallas. Even though Dallas is capable of pulling a shocker, for now it's going to be Seattle Sounders. So moving on to the Eastern Conference, we have the first match now, which is Toronto versus DC United. So what might possibly be Wayne Rooney's last match. I mean, the game changer is definitely going to be Jozy Altidore. I don't see why he wouldn't play in this game. If he does not play in this game, I would say that the game is fairly open to be won by either side. But if Jozy plays, I think it's almost undoubtedly that Toronto will win this match. I mean, don't get me wrong, DC is a good team with the likes of Wayne Rooney, but players like Acosta, he just hasn't been performing well compared to the heights he was hitting last season. And I mean, Toronto have my favorite player in the MLS this season, which is Pozzuelo. Pozzuelo has the X factor, and I think that it's a no-brainer. Toronto will win this, and they will come out on top. So next one, this is a very interesting one. Philadelphia versus NYRB. So New York Red Bull, possibly being another dark horse in the tournament, finished 6th this season, but last season where they actually won the Supporters' Shield. So this is a very, very interesting matchup. Philadelphia, another team that I kind of fell in love with. They have a very good team, I feel. Shabalko, I love their defense. Gaddis, Elliott, Wagner. Blake, he's a decent keeper actually in the league. They also have a very strong midfield. Bedoya, Marcos Fabian. I feel that but NYRB, they are capable of, shocking everyone. This is a tough one, okay? Philadelphia or New York Red Bulls. Just because the game is being played in Philadelphia, I'm going for Philadelphia, alright? Philadelphia for the win. And now for our final game, this is basically a no-brainer. Atlanta versus New England. New England have been really impressive after they signed the striker Bo. But I mean, I'm an Atlanta United fan. Gotta go with Atlanta for this one. So now we're moving on to the Western Conference semi-finals. So the first one, this is a massive game. If it actually happens, it's LAFC versus LA Galaxy, the El Trafico, lads. This might just be the biggest game of the MLS this season. Oh my word. Probably gonna be played in LAFC Stadium. This is a huge one. It's definitely gonna be a really intense match, I can tell you that. LA Galaxy have probably, in my opinion, the best attack in the league at the moment. I know some of you may think that that's far-fetched, but their team, man, Pavon and Ibra, these guys are just crazy. With the likes of Alvarez, Altuna, these guys, I mean, they are capable of scoring goals up front, but unfortunately they don't have the best of defense. And this comes down to just one thing and one thing only. Carlos Vela. Carlitos! Okay. Carlos Vela is capable of pulling a miracle, okay? If the defense of LA Galaxy screws up just a little bit, I bet you Carlos Vela can get right behind and pull a stunner. So for that X factor, which is Carlos Vela, and don't get me wrong, Ibrahimovic is an X factor himself, but I don't think that, I mean, LAFC have a better defense, but man, I just have to go for LAFC on this one. Maybe next season will be LA Galaxy's year, but for now my prediction is LAFC. To the second semi-final now in the Western Conference, RSL versus Seattle. I mean, Seattle, like I said, I expected more from them, so I wouldn't be shocked if RSL actually get the win. That would be interesting if RSL win this. But I'm expecting Seattle to come on top. I'm expecting a good game from the likes of Lodiero, Rui Diaz, hopefully, in this one. So Seattle will go through. Now to the first semi-final match in Eastern Conference, I have NYCFC versus Toronto. Okay, so this is going to be played in Yankee Stadium, and just like the Philadelphia and NYRB game, I feel that it comes down to that factor, and I feel that NYCFC have probably the most, I mean, they have a pretty, I don't want to use the word weird, but they have a peculiar stadium, alright, and not many teams can cope with that stadium, so it's gonna be a tough one, this one. It might end up a draw, but I feel that NYCFC are just on a roll, and I feel that that roll will continue. As much as I would love to see Pozuelo go through, I've got to go with NYCFC. I think that they will pull it off. So NYCFC to go through. And now we have Philly versus Atlanta. Alright, this Atlanta do have the capability of screwing up. I've seen that before, especially players like Miles Robinson. Miles Robinson, don't get me wrong, he's an incredible defender this season for us, but he screws up a lot for us, okay? So it's going to come down to the overall team performances. If Atlanta screw up a bit, I think it will cost them the match, but If they don't, and if they play well, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty confident that Atlanta will be able to go through, and they will be meeting NYCFC in the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, so we go now to the Western Conference Final. LAFC Seattle Sounders. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, LAFC won both of, LAFC won one of the matches, and I think the other match was a draw between sides early in the season, if I'm not mistaken. All right, but it's got to be clear, the LAFC, man. The only team that is probably going to be capable in the Western Conference that are capable of stopping LAFC, LA Galaxy. I just don't think that Seattle stand a chance against them. So LAFC, it comes down to the X factor. Carlos Vela, he makes the run, he gets behind the defenders, he is gonna score. So LAFC to win the Western Conference Finals, thanks to the X factor, Mr. Carlos Vela, Carlitos. Now the conference final, this is a tough one. This is truly a tough one. Eastern Conference Final, NYCFC versus Atlanta United. Really tough one. This is definitely going to be a tough one. I think Atlanta did win an NYC Stadium last season, Yankee Stadium. If I'm not mistaken, they got a 2-0 win during the playoffs. Can Atlanta pull it off again? This is going to be interesting. Atlanta versus NYC. Oh man. This is a tough one. This is definitely a tough one. NYC, they've got a good team. Definitely a good team. Atlanta, I'm a fan of Atlanta. I would love to see Atlanta make another MLS Cup final. I feel that the final that everybody wants to see is Atlanta LAFC. And a fun fact is, actually, during the last season's bracket challenge, my MLS Cup final prediction was LAFC Atlanta, but it did not end up that way. But many people seem to be thinking that LAFC and Atlanta will be the final for this season. It's just a really interesting one. Will Atlanta be able to defend their title, or will LAFC break Atlanta United's record-breaking season and produce a record-breaking season of their own? So this is a really interesting. NYC or Atlanta? Tough one. Man, this is going to be a tough. I feel that Atlanta would want revenge against NYCFC because I think they lost about 4-1 recently. I can also see Atlanta, if they screw up a bit, that's gonna cost them a lot. This is a tough one. I've got to go with my heart. My heart is telling me to go with Atlanta United, and I will go with Atlanta United. Alright, lads. MLS Cup final, Atlanta versus LAFC. This is gonna be an interesting game. My prediction is gonna be Atlanta to win it. I think that LAFC won't get their record-breaking season, the one that breaks the record that was previously held by Atlanta. I feel that Atlanta will create a new record, and they will be title holders for 2 consecutive years. So yeah, my prediction is going to be Atlanta to win the MLS Cup final. Let me check this up. Oh man, what is this? So MLS Cup final score. Okay. I think it's going to be a 2-2 game, extra time, 3-2 to Atlanta. That is my prediction. Western Conference final total goals. I think LAFC versus Seattle would end in 3-2, 2-1. I'll go with 4 goals in that match, and Atlanta NYC, man, this is going to be a crazy game. I'll put 4 goals as well. I see going either way, but yeah, That is my MLS bracket challenge, guys. Okay. So, if anything changes, maybe LA Galaxy to go through. LA Galaxy and Seattle will be a weird conference. I'm not a weird, an interesting conference finals head to head. But overall, even though Atlanta had a bad start to the season, I think that they are going to be able to defend the title. I just don't see LAFC breaking Atlanta's title winning second season. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Bye.